basically every game that's on. Oh, here it is. Okay, man.
Well, I know why this is the case, though.
Why is that?
Why is that? Because of short attention span. A lot of people in the game now, most of you get like a quick reward for doing X amount of time being played. The other thing is you only get 40% of the game now. Most of the stuff they put in DLC. So that's not. Well, that's why I changed my answer from no to yes, because yes was coming from the fact that like when you play games like FS2, you get like you gotta basically play by season. And now it's getting to where it's getting to Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter where they give you 20 characters and it's really 40. 20? Oh, it's really, they give you 5, yeah. And then they add on.
No, Street Fighter 5 now is fucking golden. Yeah, but how much DLC did you have to pay for to get those characters? That game came out, it was only like 10 characters. They made you pay for God. That's a great statement. They made you pay for God. My answer was, here's why I say video games does not fall in love. Wait, what was Street Fighter 5 about? It's falling off. It was like 15. I would say 15. The consumer is falling off. Here's the deal with it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a trip. The year is 2004. Some of y'all may have been young. Y'all may have been born around that time. People like us, we was out here in this world playing PS2, GameCube, Xbox, whatever. That was a time of innovation. You know what I mean? Where companies were willing to innovate. Lots of obscure games out of nowhere. Lots of retro games and games with like prettier settings on those shit. Basically, just trying to test the water to see what they got. Games like Beautiful Joe. You ever played
Beautiful Joe was hard.
Beautiful Joe was amazing. Right, but it was like such a like obscure game. Like, and then you look at games today, and then you gotta also look at the company. Basically, let's all say we work at a burger shack, right? If we know the mouse is gonna get caught by the cheese, we're not gonna do anything to change the trap. What do I mean by that? You might be saying, Pharaoh, why are you saying that? It's not fair.
Nobody's saying
But basically,
nobody's saying
what these companies are doing is they're realizing, oh, Steve, don't put all the condiments on the burger. You're going to just sell them just the burger itself, and they're going to be willing to pay extra for the buns, the cheese, the lettuce, the tomatoes, the mayonnaise, everything. And so what's happening is you got these games coming out basically simply people like us, people saying, what the fuck, this game ain't even completed. 90% is like, oh shit, we're gonna buy this shit any fucking way. So you gotta answer each wallet. Basically, why would the companies innovate if they know you're gonna use the patty any fucking way, and you're gonna buy the rest of the fucking
But that helps our point though, not yours.
So
like the old Call of Duty.
That's what
Call of Duty, the new Call of Duty, nowhere near as good as like Modern Warfare.
Vanguard? Modern Warfare. Yeah, that's 2019 Modern Warfare.
Warzone is down.
That 2019 Modern Warfare went crazy.
It
I don't care what none of you guys got to say. I'm not going to argue with nobody who started off with Black Ops 2. It was even
and it opened up outlets for crossplay.
Oh, no, you sleep. That shit definitely
Crossplay.
You go back to Modern Warfare 2 right now, that shit was crap.
It might be nostalgia, but like in my opinion,
Definitely
like the old Call of Duty.
That's 2019 Modern
If they come out, if you keep dropping the same game every year, like I feel like that's the part, like that's pushing the game to what they're going on.
No, but that's the thing, though. People, for the longest time, have gotten so sick and tired of Call of Duty and this boots on the ground, my bad, jet bullshit, and trying to figure out y'all want to find your space or have boots on the ground. Like, y'all want to go back to Call of Duty? Nah. Somebody said, you know what? Hey, why don't we got to go back to the drawing board, let's take our time, and we're going to make a quality project. Here's Modern Warfare 2019.
I don't think anybody can ask Black Ops to add.
got time for the video game initially, you could like break it down and like you could like sit back and look at it. Every game that comes out is casual and not necessarily the only thing that really does like hardcore fans or just like I think that
Then again, they make the money by using the combos now. Because and you ever went back and played? No, even when Street Fighter, if you ever went back and contemplated,
That shit's
you cannot make the combos sound like you're in a still
that game has a lot of like casual fans to talk to that. People who work 9 to 5s, they only got time for an hour or two. And the casual fans is really spending a lot of money next to the kids who watch the television. So that makes maybe 100 million. I'm talking about the casual and the kids, or big. Man, fuck it. Right back. And we got 10% games from many. There's so many games for the next season.
I feel like games is more accessible. I played Madden and 2K. Those two games, it don't matter. I played every single 2K from 15 on.
He's an addict. He's a
Alright. But what I can say is some 2K had good gameplay, but then some just had subpar. One thing that never really changed or always the currency change. The in-game currency. Basically when you upgrade your character to a certain and that and the one that is logic. Y'all might not know this. Like, you buy cars depending on what packs you buy, at the time they go for a lot of money. Basically $10, $20. Every car. If you go hardcore, most of their money is not coming. It just spending money. It's them putting their money to my team and getting packs and tags. So basically what you're saying is just more of
that made the game worse.
that's why I say it depends on the
They should stop paying for that shit. It's like, it's wrong with it.
You know what I was saying? Here's the thing. Let's at least get the disclaimer out the way. The main disclaimer is gaming is in fact a luxury thing. It's no different from people that get massages basis or a couple of times out of the week. So we got that games are more luxury than they used to be. And two, no, yeah. I changed my mind immediately. I know. They're saying that they. Okay, so and y'all's reasons have been said a lot. We're talking about like gaming.
I would agree there.
I do think gaming in general may have like I don't feel like it's higher quality. I feel like it's higher in other things like graphics and everything. But I feel like the quality. I feel like also it comes from us and from the companies. Like the consumer is also being assholes a lot. We ruin games by like being like you watch 4 players play the game. And everybody start playing like 4 players, and it can't be a casual game anymore. All Fortnite shit. That ruined Fortnite. That doesn't mean that Fortnite's a bad game. It's us who be like, and I these niggas be like, oh shit, lame. Oh, and then everybody, like, you know what I'm saying? Even though people might say, oh yeah, but that don't mean that. It really does, because it puts like a stigma on shit. Just like when we used to be like, oh, anime land. It took the real anime watchers to stand up and be like, fuck y'all niggas. It is good. And then they was like, oh yeah, well, maybe it is good. But like,
know, everybody stopped playing Fortnite. 3 of them, if you play Fortnite with 4 niggas, and 2 niggas like, oh yeah, that shit is like, you not gonna play it as much no more because those are your niggas and those are niggas you play with. They switch to different games. You probably gonna switch to different games. And so Fortnite, they good. They got their credit in this game. But there's a lot of Fortnite without credit. That's all. What?
I said Fortnite is like the third person shooter Smash Bros. In my opinion, at this point.
Okay, I'm gonna agree with that. Might be one of them.
Y'all see that with Battle Royale, just know they not gonna play out there. They're basically looking at you see all these Twitch players like, oh, you know, Halo's good. It's good. It's a good ass game. I like the multiplayer. They can run battle. That's like all the time. And the reason why they say this stuff is because some of these people on Twitch and live stream, they don't want to they too scared to play multiplayer game. Actually, that's why
Us niggas on Twitch are low key. It's a lot of things that's more in games today that it wasn't back in the day. And that goes to games, it goes to TV shows, I say about it. No, I think movies are back to but it's all
Les bed or have the sexual sex, yes, of course, if you're given the consent to join in, then of course, it's not sexual sex. If given is bad, normally referred to as more simple.
a small margin because video game industry got way more money today. I'm like, they're trying to much shit, but nothing's like hitting.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's
I don't just like Ray said on the show. There's a lot of money to get out there.
Damn. Protect, Philippe, the pilot. Too much sauce.
People respect indie games now because they're not. I mean, they're
shit.
Hey, I watched that shit too. That's some lit shit. Good shit,
Anime
GG's.
innovative because they made the fucking blueprints of all this shit.
But just like Ray said with the video game companies don't want to get out of their comfort zone when it comes to making that paper either. So they're not willing to innovate.
That's why I'm okay.
They're like, oh, hell no.
I'm saying to big companies do count. Yes, there's a lot of indie games, but okay, that's the most indie games are supposed to be some random ass shit. We're talking about the big game companies. They are less innovative. For sure.
Okay, time out though. Consumers are the main problem because look at games like GTA 5, right? GTA 5, although it's been out since 2013, they are still, until this fucking day, updating that fucking game. They got a new DLC coming out with Dr. Dre and Anderson .Paak. Yes, I don't know if you've seen it.
Right, but that's not. How's that the consumer problem?
No. But what I'm saying is, this GTA 5 is still not done. Is what I'm saying. And then look at games like GTA RP of what the game can actually be. And you got people just, we don't want this shit. We wait for GTA 6. Why? So you can play that shit for 30 minutes and then kick it to the side and say, where's GTA 7? Because that's what's going to happen. GTA Online right now. I'm just saying. Maybe Call of Duty, but not GTA 5 right now should still be played. With this GTA Online, a lot of people don't like the creepers and shit. People flying around on their motorcycles, blasting niggas. But the innovation of GTA 5 when it first came out in 2013 till now is a fucking major milestone that a lot of people
Mexico.
they're so mad that GTA 5 is still a thing. Niggas still playing the game. I'm the only one. I'm feeling this way about this game. I mean, they should do as much as
All
possible.
right. Let's punish these niggas. If I can stand up, you know it's over.
Imagine if Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was still out there.
it's just a quarter, right? But what if Acorns automatically invested them every time you bought coffee for a month?
What's going on, James here, and in this video, we're going to be talking about the Roth IRA, whether you should invest in one, whether you shouldn't, and why I believe investing in retirement funds is just being a sheep in life. And please, before you jump off this video, understand one thing. You don't know until you know. And I've seen tons of different channels talk about this, and a lot of times they come from people who are either a financial analyst, vehicles, and it's kind of their job to push, in my opinion, what I like to call propaganda toward the middle class, younger people. And I'm going to get into that in this video. Like, let me encourage you to do a few things. Number one, at any point, you understand what I'm saying. Do me a favor and smash that like button, just like Graham always tells us. Put this into my mind. We talk about this because it's a little bit of that video I'm talking about. Outside of what you hear your parents talk about, what you hear pretty much about 90%. Not a plan for James. Since I don't have a mortgage, which was about $280,000 mortgage at 5%, it's about $1,200 a month. So now I'm making $2,000, so it's my original $800. My $1,200 I no longer paying for mortgage. It doesn't include tax, by the way. So now I'm making $2,000 a month. It's $24,000 a year. And I will continue making that for the rest of my life. I don't have to worry about running out of money like you do in a retirement fund. I don't have to worry about whether or not, whether the government is going to change its rules. I don't have to worry about, the good thing is with a Roth IRA, you don't have to worry about taxes after you turn 60. But the government changes their rules, okay? This is what they do. They change their rules, and I'm not going to put my money against the government who likes to have this part of the day, who likes to, buy $1,000 things. It's not their money. They don't share it with themselves. They just so again, we can actually hold up about 40 years. Okay, let's just, again, just assuming your rent has never changed. All right? So let's just keep this very simple. For $9,600 a year, for 40 years, $384,000. I have $1 million property, which my life is worth for 5 years. So let's say $1 million property. I have a tax savings on it. But we have the most important part here. property when 5 years ago you could have got it for $600,000? Ask yourself this one question: was the rental income cover all my expenses in my pocket? Because whether you bought it at $600,000 or you bought it at $1 million, guess what doesn't matter? If you bought it at $1 million in 2008 happens and it's worth $600,000, guess what that doesn't affect? It doesn't affect your rental income. The only thing that will affect is your ability to borrow on that property. When your tenants are paying on that mortgage, no matter when you bought it, it doesn't matter. And yeah, you lose leverage when the market crashes, but you still have your rental income for the long term. Again, what great way to take your rental income, save money, right? Your 6,000 Roth IRA money continues to go into a savings account or wherever you find better. And now the market crashes and you're not quick to fall back on it. My other portfolio doesn't work out, or other things don't work out. This is like the last stop, really. And that's why it's all ETF stuff I don't have to choose. I plan on I'll keep you updated with this one, let you know how it goes. I'll let you know how the returns go. Here's my other one. And if you can that way. This one's a little bit different because I'm not constantly going on the average. Like I can't deposit my money until 2020. Returns might be a little bit swayed that way, but at the very least, this will give you an idea. I'll show you guys how this performs for market. How that works out. But I want to talk a minute about retirement from now. And I want to talk about why I think the Roth IRA is the most superior retirement company better than 401k right now. And just go through them. First, I want to explain the differences between them. So what you're looking at right now on M1, this is the Roth IRA, the individual retirement. The reason I'm doing this right on M1 is because it's Roth IRA. I'll go to the definition here. A Roth IRA is an individual retirement account, allowing a person to set aside after-tax income up to a specified amount per year. Right now it's $6,000 per people. Both earnings on the account as well as after-tax income for tax-free. Let's say that the money that you have earned, you can use next month, you can put like up to $6,000 of that into a Roth IRA every year, and then everything after that tax-free. All the dividends, all the interest, all the everything's tax-free. As long as you keep dividends money on your account, and that's a long time, that's 30 years, right? So I know that's like doubling my current lifetime. It's a while, but the nice thing is all that time, all the growth is coming. But there's more reasons that I like about it. 401k is qualified retirement plan, allows eligible employees or other companies to save, invest for their full retirement on tax-deferred basis. So you skip income tax with the 401k,
their account for 5 years. So it was sitting there. She signed up for 401k. Not a finance person, but they don't look at like this. They don't look at it. And it just sat there. And actually, I think it sat around the same dollar amount for so that money probably double or triple at the investment. But you have no idea what's going on with 401k. A lot of last thing is here, Wall Street Journal article.
What is going on, bro?
He or she's not shredded, then don't get in the plane, because if they have to do the manual crank, they're not going to have the strength to do it. That's pretty much what this article saying. But really, this seems like such a simple thing. This is a circular wheel with a handle on it. The crank still goes out to a bigger radius. I don't know how they can't handle it. It seems like it's installing a new crank with a big body. So, this article doesn't garner a lot of confidence in this, that your life might depend on whether or not the pilots have a manual strength to turn this wheel around. Not
Bro, shut up. What the fuck?
Multi-kills.
File fed and saved for free. Simple tax returns.
All day, every day.
Make this year your year in a Cadillac SUV. Visit your showroom.
What is this guy watching?
I have a lot of questions. The first one is from Travis Henderson, because I have an M1 finance question. I've been auto-depositing $10 a day into my M1 account. My account will auto-invest everything above $10. This means I'm buying $10 worth of stocks every day, Monday through Friday. M1 Finance sent me an email saying this sort of investing may be counterproductive versus auto-investing at a higher dollar amount. Would love to hear your take on this. That's a great video. Okay, so he's saying that you've been putting in $10 a day on the auto-investing here in M1. M1 sent me an email saying that this isn't the best strategy. You should group your money together and invest a little bit more at a time. Really, there's a couple of things. I think the reason that M1 is doing this is bid-ask spread. Really, a lot of people call it spread. And it's the difference when you're buying stock and actually doing a transaction. Right? There's somebody that has to be a seller and you're the buyer. So every time you do that, a market buyer, you're asking for a transaction to take place. And the spread is the difference between what somebody's willing to sell it for and what you're willing to buy it for. Usually, it's a very small amount. If you're only investing $10, that little difference, not little bit, those little fees. What they're saying is probably just, if you're doing $10 a day Monday through Friday, just do $50 every Monday. That's really simple. They weren't talking about buying every hour. I've never done a strategy of buying stock every single day. Next question from Wendell. Thank you for the video, Joe. It was a nice episode. Looking forward to making more. By the way, how can someone do finance? One minute for a walking your dad that's real estate tax holiday. Okay, so that's a good question. Yeah, a lot of people have watched that episode. So I had a pretty good but more than this. My dad owned at one point buy property if they wanted it. But the bigger thing was having all the targets. I grew up working on a grad work, and money is my brothers. My dad every single transaction that's and I had to be one of those people so I had an appreciation for that. I think I had money growing up. I also came to realize that I got all the knowledge about how to support different things, how the family does that. And he told me that he worked at the county sheriff's department for 30 years. And you know, they're not the highest career. I mean, the parents that actually earn a lot more. Yeah, he's living in a neighborhood where people that live there are doctors, lawyers, surgeons, like parts of the plastic surgery. There's lawyers, there's lots of professionals who live in the same area that they do. And the reason why is because it's not because of the big jobs there. I saw that growing up. He told me at one point that real estate for about 6% of income, and it brings about 20%. That's the difference working for yourself and working for always have to take on all the rest of the first 3 years. You don't do well in real estate because the day job was a government job. You would go to the same it's not really good, but he did kind of best try to money on the real estate. It's just like the same kind of thing that more than the possible. I'm not going to I plan on making this strategy for a long time. I have one brother that's pretty interested in finance, but I have my other brother not interested at all. He's the smartest one out of the whole family. He's a specialized eye surgeon that takes salary and doing the whole thing. I'm the one probably the most interested in finance in my family, so I spend a lot of time studying this stuff. I mean, I've been reading business magazines for a long time. I've been reading Wall Street Journal and these types of magazines for 5+ years now. It's just a huge interest in finance. Something that I want to get an economy of. Another Instagram question. First off, I'd like to say thank you so much for sharing your journey on YouTube. So many people that use their advice and never show their voice. My question is someone who is starting off investment, your portfolio size seems almost like a
quarter, right? But what if Acorns automatically invested that every time you bought coffee for a month? What about a year? 10 years? And what about the change from food, movies, parking, gas? What about the change from everything you buy? And what if Acorns invested it all into a diversified portfolio, giving your investments a chance to grow? What if you didn't have to change your life? Alright everybody, I'm a CPA. In this video, I'm going to share with you why you should set up Roth IRAs for your children. I'm going to share with you the rules and eligibility requirements for setting up Roth IRAs for your children. I'm going to tell you how I was able to set up a Roth IRA for my son Hunter, who's only 2 years old. And finally, at the end of the video, I'm going to show you right here on my screen, step by step, how to open up a Roth IRA for a child at Fidelity. I'm going to show you on screen me opening up a Roth IRA for my second son Carson, who's currently 3 months old. So you'll see this step by step, how to set up a Roth IRA for kids at Fidelity. Fidelity is not sponsoring this video, by the way, it's just my opinion. Fidelity is the best option for setting up Roth IRAs for your kids. It's really super easy and straightforward. If you already know all the rules for Roth IRAs for kids, and you just want to jump in and walk through how to get Fidelity actually setting up a Roth IRA for your child, check out the table of contents in the description below. It will tell you exactly the timestamp you should go to just to make a walkthrough portion of this video begin. So if you're a parent of a minor child or a grandparent of a minor child or you're an aunt or an uncle or you just know people who have minor children, watch this video, apply to your own kids if you don't have kids, or your past child raising stage of life, share with those you know who do have children still living at home because the strategy I'm sharing in this video can literally make that kid a millionaire later on down the line, and I'll show you the math later in this video. But before we get into all the details here about Roth IRAs for kids, let's talk about IRAs in general. As most of you know, IRAs so you save money today on taxes, but you'll pay taxes in the future on the distribution out of your traditional IRA when you start taking them as early as after age 7.5, or when you have to start taking them at the age of 72, or whenever the requirement of distribution age is in the future. The Roth IRA does not give you a tax deduction for your contributions today, but it's earning grow tax-free. So when you take withdrawals out of your account, right after age 7.5, your social security, you want those distributions on tax-free. So it's going to be tax-free for that account in age. As of right now, the not required to distribute to Roth IRA. Because IRA accounts are used online, both traditional and Roth. The hardest part is deciding which one to contribute to, right? Traditional IRA or a Roth IRA. Now, you see my video comparing the two, link at the top of the screen and in the description below. Give me a pretty good idea what the basic rule of thumb is that the way you are retirement, the way you are account for your cash bracket right now, the more that you're active in the Roth. Generally speaking, check out the video I mentioned for more in-depth look at traditional versus Roth IRAs. I'll link to it in the description below. The Roth versus traditional analysis can be a very tough decision. Retire or switch earning career professionals. Right, I made a video recently on 50 Roth IRA warnings. But if you're a child who is far away from retirement as anybody, and there's probably very low tax bracket, 0% tax bracket, the traditional Roth is go for Roth. Tax benefit that a child contributing to a traditional IRA would be minimal, right? If the low possibly 0% tax rate, slash the state of federal and state tax purposes, right? They'll still get taxed for growth, right? In the traditional IRA, you have to get taxed, but it's going to be taxes anyway, because you're going to so low, and you get a benefit for that deduction. So the Roth is generally better for children. There's an extremely powerful investment and older people as well. Right? In fact, a Roth IRA can make a kid a millionaire in years than that. So let's say you're talking $900 per year. Okay, so that's $75 a month, about $17 a month. That's basically $8 for no money, right? Now let's say they make that money in Roth IRA. Then let's say your kid makes $1,000 per year age 10, and then $1,100 per year age 11, and so on. $1,800 per year age 18. Contributing all of the earnings in the years of the Roth IRA. Oh, and by the way, I'm not completely, I know what kids like, but I look up on the money Roth, I'm going to pay right if you want it, and you refund the IRA, right? Just as long as any other money. Okay, then let's say that your child never contributes to the Roth IRA again after being 18. So, right? Only 3 years, they're completely contributing to the Roth IRA. Assume you let the money sit there and invest in growing it, and with your return, that means it's growing per year. Okay, and 8% is probably not reasonable, assuming that the Roth IRA will be invested in investment, right? The way a lot of money starts very young. Then by the time you're 6 years old, you're eligible to withdraw money, right? They would have over $1 million in the Roth. That's age 60. Okay? That's assuming they never contribute to a Roth IRA, never can have any age. But that's the difference. Over $1 million at the age of 60, okay? Which in 50 years will probably be okay? Not even including the money they contribute to the Roth over the course of 30 or 40 years. Okay? Their total contribution to the age of $13,500, but it would grow over the decades to over $1 million tax rate. That is the power of compounding. That is the power of tax rate growth. That is the power of the Roth IRA. You seem like getting excited about this, right? And even if my tutor currently has a little over $2,000 in his Roth as of the time that I'm recording this video, it could never put another dollar into his Roth. And if something grows up and goes his whole career without dropping another dollar into his Roth, and he only has $2,000 in it now, but that $2,000 grows. Age 70, start tapping to his Roth. You have $480,000. Right? How much that could actually buy at that point? Well, depends on the Fed. So obviously, $480,000. Then likely going to be less than this thing. But you still need to pay something. You're taxing, right? If you Roth IRA or traditional IRA, for that matter, your kid or anybody needs to earn income. Okay, so your maximum contribution to IRA is less than the statutory limit for the year, which right now is $6,000 for those for your earned income. There is a spousal IRA strategy for those who are married, right? But this video is about Roth IRAs for kids. Obviously, your kids are married. Bottom line, your kid needs to make money in order to contribute to an IRA, whether traditional or Roth. However, the definition of earned income is very broad. It doesn't mean your kid needs a full-time job or to work the maximum number of hours they're allowed to work in their age. If your kid is a Muslim kid, right, and earns money for a month, that's earned income. You put that money right into a Roth IRA, let it go tax-free.
neighborhood babysitter or wants to maybe talk, I don't know, anything. How are we doing it right now? Right? Are we children, how are we generating the money for them, to earn income for our kids so they can go to a roster? YouTube. If you watch my video on how much money small YouTubers make, my wife and I have a family blog right here on YouTube, just documenting our daily life called The Out Family. This family blog makes a little bit of ad revenue from YouTube, and we're taking a portion of this ad revenue and paying it to our children as our employee.
Y'all pretty good. Good game.
To pay all the ad revenue to the kids, right? Because on the kids' earnings, I get a deduction, right, in my business at my higher tax rate, and this money is tax-free to them, right, because they make less than standard deduction. So any money the kids are paid is essentially shifted from my high tax rate to literally 0% tax rate. I'm just saying 100% of the ad revenue from family blog is there. I'll get a little bit too aggressive. So we land on a portion for the kids' compensation, and I think that's fair, and not too aggressive tax-wise, because what, this is tax thing only, right? No one watches the blogs of kids' money, so I think that's not a useful stuff. Now, these savvy ones out there, you've heard me use the E-word being employee, right? Making your kid an employee of your business, making your employees, and you're thinking, oh, employee, Logan, don't you have to pay taxes on your kids' wages? You actually don't, right? If you do it the right way, because look at the tax code here. I'm looking here in the Internal Revenue Code, tax code, subsection C, employment taxes, chapter 21, Federal Insurance Contributions Act. That's FICA. Subchapter C, general provisions, section 31 and 21, definitions, where it defines wages for purposes of the FICA tax and the Social Security Medicare tax. And if you look at the definition of wages, it says for purposes of this chapter, the term wages means all remuneration for employment. Remuneration for employment. But then if you look down here where it defines employment, it says the term employment shall not include services performed by a child under the age of 18 in the employ of his father or mother. So that means that remuneration paid by father or mother to their employed child, their own employees, not subject to FICA taxes. And you might want to check the CPA of your state, but if I say California, if I look at California Code on Unemployment Insurance Withholding, it uses the same language as the Internal Revenue Code. It says employment does not include service performed by a child under the age of 18 years in the employ of his father or mother.
Apaga tu chingadera, pendejo.
IRS, I have to like the California here. Now we just spend business and corporation, right? And that's that in previous videos. Google / YouTube is my S corporation. The S corporation is not me. The code doesn't say that my taxes doesn't include service performed by a child under the age of 18 in the employ of his father or mother, or in the employ of a business owned by his father or mother. All it says is my taxes doesn't include service performed by a child under the age of 18 in the employ of his father or mother. So I think that means that in order to qualify for this exception, or for my situation to qualify for this exception, they have to be not my S corporation filed for taxes, rather they have to be paid from me directly, right, through a business disregarded premium tax purposes, right? LLC that has nothing tax corporation or sole proprietorship. You can try to both of those working my wife's schedule C attachment tax return. Scheduling for content on problems here. So what I've done, I'll see like UV. So what I've done is a DBA management company. Okay? My S corp is the entity for separate sole proprietorship business, and the kids pay for that. Right? So it's a separate business. I don't see anything. Just got DBA. I've got DBA business up to this account. My S corp is that business, which is basically considered the same as me paying tax purposes. Unlike the S corporation, and that business basically that business that you have. Every business other than the business from my S corporation, right? I don't get the station. That's my point. And it's just the kids. So that way, I'm going to use the kids. Right? Therefore, qualify for the FICA tax exemptions. I think that's easier. Right? My S corporation, obviously, LLC, gives a deduction. Money pays for management companies. There's a deduction for me, my business. Money the management company, right? Money in, the S corp, money out. Right? My calculation of the highest non-contract buyer's pension, right? So basically, that company gives deduction. That's deduction. Right? So essentially, the deduction for my S corp, right? Schedule C is essentially a wash. Yes, we did have the income tax exemption. But because you're making a gross tax deduction, not for federal tax purposes, against state tax purposes, it's just tax. Not only my business tax deduction, right? But it gives you tax-free income. But now my kids have earned income, and they can contribute to a Roth IRA for tax and investment growth, so they can become Roth millionaires. So what's the equation? So you're good. So right? And that's the business. They can go get a job somewhere or do some gig work somewhere. And you can find that they can spend the money, right? And you can still make a contribution for it with your own money as long as your contribution doesn't exceed do that year over year, making people very likely to have a social investment, right? On top of your change to they'll return it, and on top of Social Security and all that. It's great. It's an awesome strategy as well for your children. So these children get the power of the over time. Now, if your kid is making money outside of business, they don't have to spend that, right? So one thing to keep in mind is the self-employment tax, which makes it if your kids are getting placed in that self-employment for years before, right? That's fine. Sure, you still understand that. You can still file a tax return and self-employment tax. However, if you pay your child as an employee from your own business, like I do in the described video, your kid can escape from one tax as an employee, like your employee, and you can pay my tax operation that I just walked through. So if you open up the Roth IRA for kids, Roth IRA, a few places actually do things online for free, Schwab, and eligibility. Also, Schwab's page about custodial IRAs, and you can call them at 866-855-5626. Download an application. That's optional, but it doesn't look like it's super easy. I know you can set up a custodial Roth IRA at Vanguard, but it's really dedicated page for it. That page too, they only have a dedicated page for Roth IRAs for kids online. It's literally fidelity.com/Roth-IRA-Kids. So call somebody, right? I already have a few accounts at Fidelity anyway. I said where I set up 100 Roth IRA. So right now, I'm going to pop Roth IRA. All along these, so you know how to do it well. It's going to be super easy. So right now, I'm going to walk through setting up a Roth IRA for child. Fidelity's not sponsoring Roth IRA. So
Alright folks, so I'm here at fidelity.com/IRA/Roth-IRA-kids. This is your URL for a Fidelity Roth IRA. So a very simple process. There's basic information here, right? Talked about stuff already. Obviously, this is for kids that are 7 to 18. because Alright, next. So obviously I am the custodian of, that's why my name is here. I get my owner. I have all, that's my information here. Well, yeah, that's so here's the minor information here, right? So my continue, right, and have control over it. I will no longer take control. 18 is the age of most states, is the age of my state health, again, most states, but you can change this if you want to. So, looks like you have two choices here. Fund, or you have to program. See if one has like a higher interest rate than the other. Okay, so for this one, you have got to be insured funds. Set point. Okay, current rates, you can find at fidelity.com/IRA. And I'm sure the other one isn't that much more. Let's, or my English is the same, so let's look at, okay, specs. Okay, specs. Okay, yeah, so we're looking at, well, actually, this is actually a little bit higher, right, than so, I'm going to go with that one, even though I'm not, my son's on my rate cash, I'm going to be investing money in there. So I'll keep it at that. And then this is, preferences, you want to see doctors in front of me. I typically say yes. I don't like getting mail. I don't like getting sensitive stuff. I like getting mail, right, like packages, but like, I don't like getting, these documents delivered in the mail. I'd rather get them electronically. Okay, so I'm going to save those settings, and that's basically it for my information. And then, of course, there's these disclosures that you're going to want to open up and read. I know you're not really going to read them all, but I should tell you, right, you probably want to read this information. I've kind of gone through these before when I've set up the IRA for my first son Hunter. But you might want to look these through. If you know what a Roth IRA is, you won't be shocked by anything in those documents. So let's just say that. Okay, do you agree with electronic delivery of the documents? I'm going to say yes. And then by selecting open account, you acknowledge that you are the person in this account application. You provided with the above documents electronically, you take a copy, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So now I'm going to click open account. Okay, so great. The account is now.
If you want to get into crypto, you need to check out Coinbase. Coinbase is the primary platform for buying, selling.
Sí, ya puse el arroz y las carnitas están dorando. Ya dije que está dorando todo. Vuelve a repetir. Vuelve a repetir. Hangu.
So prior to 2009, you were not able to do any conversion to make more than $100,000. That includes converting an after-tax IRA to loss.
Voy a checar el tiempo ahí. Ya después de notar ahí si es sushi o no sushi. No, ya no checaste, ya le rompiste.
assets in the 401k work. So for work, and it was 280,000 in 2021, so that you're not allowed to do a Roth. So one of the Roth, not the one people ever do that. Then you have one for that. Roth IRA, you have to scale. Open IRA contribution. Open up IRA. That would be what? Giving IRA contribution. You're not getting tax deductions on your tax money. Okay, so IRA again, you have to make much money, you have assets, you have retirement plan work, what does it? IRA, now, and what's going to be down to what? And Roth, but one has more money than IRA. So the whole job is to go back to Roth. After that IRA, after tax the Roth, you're not getting taxed on it, because you get after tax on it. Not getting taxed on it. After tax the Roth, you do it every day. Okay, so there's no growth on your income. For example, if you put $5,000 into an after-tax IRA, and you don't invest it, you're in cash. If you convert it the next day to Roth, there should not be any tax on that conversion. Now, yeah, just to summarize, backdoor Roth IRAs born after 2009, starting 2010 when there's no income limitations for Roths. Backdoor Roth IRAs mean you do an after-tax IRA contribution to Roth, not a pre-tax. If you pre-tax to Roth, that's conversion. I'll get to in a moment. You only need to do a backdoor Roth IRA if you either make too much money and have access to a 401k work to do a pre-tax IRA, or you make more than $208,000, you can't do a Roth. The backdoor Roth will allow you to put in up to $6,000 or $7,000 until 50, and then just convert it to Roth. Now, there's something known as the pro rata formula, which only applies to backdoor Roth. It does not apply to conversion. I had a bunch of questions on this, which actually triggered me to do this podcast, because I just want.
The secret of success. In every chapter of this book, that few enterprises in the 1920s could have been more idealistic or humanitarian in concept. Yet in seeking to stir innocent men's souls, his enterprises had stirred mean-spirited men to a bloodlust that destroyed everything. Without his magazine, Hill went back to teaching and lecturing, which led to an introduction from same newspaper publisher, Don Penn, who offered to help him publish the results of his work. At the same time, Miller learned that prohibition gangsters were selling narcotics at bootleg retailers. And he used the local police Miller was out there, and daily news, while Hill contacted the governor to investigate investigation of corrupt policemen. A week before Hill and Miller could finalize the financing for the publishing of Hill's book, John Hill was found outside his home and assassinated by a gangster and his gun. His crime was killed himself, but the people left his escape and fled to the Smoky Mountains, where he was called out and back in shadow. And fear for his life, back to the state of the Union. And in one extraordinary act of self-analysis, he pulled himself out of the book and resolved to reduce the challenge of control of all the money. He went to Philadelphia, to visit the governor of the money, and he was trying to take all 4 months of rich men. No one had ever seen anything like it. A phenomenon, a runaway medicine. While Hill was planning to join the group in his law firm, the stock market crashed. The bottom fell out of everything. He never gave up on it. And he wanted in every way he could. That was a very hard degree of personal achievement to a country that had lost faith in itself. Napoleon had changed his personal identity in the time by creating a variety of self-help programs. But it became disappointing. Throughout the Depression years, he became the most popular under the president, helping to guide Roosevelt in his efforts to revitalize America. It is said that it was Hill who gave FDR the famous line, "We have nothing to fear but fear itself." And Hill was dead broke, just as he had done for President Wilson. He refused to accept more than $1 a year for his In 1937, as America was finally beginning to see glimmerings of hope as the Great Depression might end, Hill convinced his publishers that America now needed a book to help shake off the mental and emotional stigma of those terrible times. He was working. It released and grew to such resounding success that it sold well over 1 million copies even before the Depression. At this point, it has sold more than 60 million copies worldwide, and today it still sells more than 1 million copies a year. Take your own persistence in the doing. Persistence is a state of mind. Therefore, it can be cultivated. Like all states of mind, persistence is based upon definite causing, among the things. Definiteness of purpose. Knowing what you want is the first step of important toward the development of persistence. A strong motive will force you to surmount difficulties. Design. It's comparatively easy Accurate knowledge. Knowing your plans are sound based upon experience or observation encourages persistence. Guessing instead of knowing destroys persistence. Cooperation. Sympathy, understanding, and cooperation with others tend to develop persistence. Proof knowledge. The habit of concentrating your thoughts on making plans to attain your definite purpose leads to persistence. Habit. Persistence is the direct result of habit. The mind absorbs and becomes a part of the daily experience of fear. The mind of all enemies can be overcome by forcing yourself to perform and repeat acts of courage. Everyone who has seen active service before knows this. Take inventory of yourself and determine what you are lacking in this essential quality of persistence. Measure yourself point by point and see how many of the previous 8 factors of persistence you lack. The analysis may lead to discoveries that will give you a new understanding of yourself and what you need to get ahead. The following is a list of the real enemies that stand between you and achievement. These are not only the symptoms indicating weakness of persistence, but also the deeply seated subconscious causes of this weakness. Study the list carefully and rate yourself squarely if you really need to know who you are and what you are capable of doing. These are the weaknesses that must be mastered by anyone who really wants to accumulate riches. 1. Fail to recognize and define clearly exactly what you want. 2. Procrastination, with or without cause, usually backed up with a long list of alibis and excuses. 3. Lack of interest in acquiring specialized knowledge. 4. Indecision, the habit of passing the buck instead of facing issues squarely, also backed by alibis and excuses. 5. The habit of relying upon excuses instead of making definite plans to solve problems. 6. Self-satisfaction. There is little remedy for this, and no hope for those who suffer from it. 7. Indifference. Usually reflected in your readiness to compromise rather than meet opposition and pressure. 8. The habit of blaming others for your mistakes and accepting circumstances as being unavoidable. 9. Weakness of desire because you neglected to use motives that will push you to take action. 10. Plainest equation, the first sign of defeat, based upon one or more of the 6 basic fears. 11. Lack of organized plans that you've written out so they can be analyzed. 12. The habit of neglecting to act on ideas or to grasp opportunity when it presents itself. 13. Wishing instead of willing. 14. The habit of compromising with poverty instead of aiming at riches. A general lack of ambition to eat, do, or all. 15. Searching for all the shortcuts to riches and trying to get without thinking of their equivalent. It was reflected in the habit of gambling or trying to climb up their market. 16. Fear of criticism, resulting in failure to create plans and put them into action because of what other people might think, do, or say. This is one of the most dangerous enemies because it often exists in your subconscious mind. You may not even know it is there. See the 6 basic fears in the last chapter. If you fear criticism, following is an examination of the symptoms of the fear of criticism. The majority of people are in relatives, friends, and work hard to influence them so that they cannot live their own lives because they fear criticism. Many people make mistakes in marriage but stay married and go through life miserable and unhappy because they fear criticism. Anyone who is submitted to this form of fear knows the irreparable damage it does by destroying one's ambition and the desire to achieve. They like to go back and get education after having left school because they fear criticism. Countless numbers of men and women permit relatives to wreck their lives in the name of family duty because they fear criticism. It does not require you to submit to the destruction of your personal ambitions and the right to live your own life. Fear of criticism in such cases is a stronger sign of success. They fear the criticism of relatives and friends may say, sometimes suggested that I be my first impulse was fear of what people might say. Subjective was larger than any time ever seen myself. My answer was believing excuses, all of them traceable to fear of criticism. These things I may say, and John's fear required too much time. What do you ever say? How we learn to believe? No one has ever organized the philosophy of success. Why did he fear? You are going to aim so high. You are over. What do you know about philosophy? Crazy. Why hasn't some other person read it before? It seems that the whole world has suddenly learned his opinion. After having analyzed thousands of people, I discovered the most valuable substance. Success is the result of 20 breaks. Maybe something like that, but it depends on what, how long the achievement is. It's a self-made break. These come through the application of systems. In 1989, Mark Myers, editor of the Bottom Line Personal, wrote a book entitled How to Make Money. 7 secrets about making money. In it, he tells the story of a psychology trainer at a chances of receiving money opportunities for incomes, partly because others owe some of their money or off on them. This is the biggest secret money people know. They know that when they see money, more people want to help them. There are people waiting to make a difference in your life. Show them what they're doing, and that you're enthusiastic. Our Myers book is devoted to explaining ways to do this. As Hill says, the only lucky break anyone can afford to rely upon is a self-made break, based up to the application of persistence. The starting point is definiteness of purpose. This leads to the end of If you stop the first one, and ask them what they want most in life, many of them would not be able to tell you. If you press them for an answer, some will say security, many will say money, some will say happiness, and others will say fame and power. Some might tell you they want social recognition, ease in living, the ability to sing, dance, or write. But none of them will be able to give you the slightest indication of a plan, rather than they only say these vaguely expressed wishes. Wishes do not respond to wishes. They respond only to definite plans, backed by definite desires, constant persistence. How to develop persistence? There are 4 simple steps that lead to the habit of persistence. They call for no great amount of intelligence, no particular knowledge. A definite purpose, backed by a burning desire to fulfill it. A definite plan, expressed in actions. A mind flows tightly against all negative suggestions. Negative suggestions of relevance and worth. A worthy mind will never want to follow the plan and purpose. Except persistence in either of them, that even remotely suggested the major source of their stupendous achievements. If you make an impartial study of the prophets, philosophers, and religious leaders of the past, you will come to the inevitable conclusion that persistence, concentration of effort, and definiteness of purpose were the major sources of their achievements. Consider, for example, the fascinating story of Muhammad. Analyze his life. Compare him with men of achievement in this modern age of industry and finance, and observe how they all have one outstanding trait in common: persistence. If you want to understand more about the power of persistence and how it works, I strongly suggest that you read a biography of Muhammad. Editor's comments. At the beginning of the 21st century, there was an increased interest in Islam due to the attacks on the World Trade Center and the subsequent war on terror. Consequently, the modern reader will have no difficulty finding a number of very good books about Muhammad. At the time that Hill was writing the first edition of Think and Grow Rich, one of the best biographies about him, who was born in Baku, Azerbaijan, the son of a Jewish businessman named Yosef. Later, he changed his name when he converted to Islam. During the Russian Revolution, he fled his home for Berlin, where he lived until the rise of Hitler again forced him to move, first to Austria, and then finally to Italy. It is believed by some that this man, known as Esad Bey, also wrote under another pen name, Kurban Said, and was in fact the author of the acclaimed Azerbaijani novel, Ali and Nino. That Napoleon Hill was very impressed with this particular biography of Muhammad is clear from his recommendation, which follows. I strongly suggest that you read a biography of Muhammad, especially the one by Esad Bey. This brief review of that book, which appeared in the Herald Tribune, will provide a preview of the rare treat in store for those who take the time to read the entire story, of the most astounding examples of the power of persistence known to civilization. The Last Great Prophet. Reviewed by Thomas Suter. Muhammad was a prophet, but he never performed a miracle. He was not a mystic. He had no formal school. He did not begin his mission until he was 40. When he announced that he was the messenger of God, bringing word of the true religion, he was ridiculed and labeled a lunatic. Children tricked him, and women threw filth upon him. He was banished from his native city, Mecca, and his followers were stripped of their worldly goods and sent into the desert after him. When he had been preaching 10 years, he had nothing to show for it but banishment, poverty, and ridicule. Yet before another 10 years had passed, he was dictator of all Arabia, ruler of Mecca, and the head of a new world religion which was to sweep to the Danube and the Pyrenees before exhausting the impetus he gave him. That impetus was threefold: the power of words, the efficacy of prayer, and man's connection with God. His career never made sense. Muhammad was born to impoverished members of the leading family of Mecca. Because Mecca, the crossroads of the world, home of the magic stone called the Kaaba, great city of trade and the center of trade routes, was unsanitary. Its children were sent to be raised in the desert by Mecca. Muhammad was thus nurtured, drawing strength and health from the village. He tended sheep and soon hired out to a rich widow and legal repairman. He traveled to all parts of Egypt, talked to the and diverse beliefs, and observed the decline of Christianity into war and settlements. mastermind would have conquered the world. They did. He used it Muhammad's innovation of being born. Not a single person was not a model of former China state. One mastermind here. Place of birth. The universal. Sources. It may be converted into power by organizing it into definite plans and by putting those plans into action. If you examine the three sources of knowledge, you will see how difficult it would be if you had to focus upon just your own efforts to assemble all the knowledge you need and turn it into definite plans of action. If your plans are big and comprehensive, generally you will have to get others to cooperate with you if you are going to organize your knowledge into power. Gaining power through the mastermind. The mastermind may be defined as coordination of knowledge and effort in a spirit of harmony between two or more people for the attainment of no individual may have great power without realizing the mastermind. I comment on how to use plans for translating desire into monetary equivalent. If you carry out these instructions with persistence and intelligence and use discrimination in choosing your mastermind group, your objective will have been halfway reached even before you begin to recognize it. Editor's comments. In the following section, Hill describes the two kinds of power that an individual can access by assembling a mastermind alliance and working with that group. The first kind of power that he mentions is economic power, which needs no comment from the editors. However, to describe the second kind of power, for want of a better term, Hill uses the term psychic. Because this word has taken on connotations that Hill never intended, this concept deserves clarification before you read on. As is obvious throughout this book, Napoleon Hill was a biblical expert. His use of the word psychic in his chapter has nothing to do with seances, fortune telling, magic, or any other aspect of the paranormal. The word psychic is probable pertaining to the human mind. Hill uses this word to describe something pertaining to the mind that everyone reading this book has experienced. It is that feeling you get when you are working together with other people. Everyone is very focused on the same goal, and it is going so well that you seem to be in tune with each other. When that happens, you not only work well with the others, but your own work and ideas also seem to be operating on a higher and better plane than usual. This is the end of the editor's comments. So you may better understand the potential power available to you through a properly chosen mastermind group, I will explain the two characteristics of the mastermind principle. One kind of power is economic, and the other psychic. Economic power. The economic feature is obvious. Economic advantages may be created by any person who surrounds himself with the advice, counsel, and personal cooperation of a group of people who are willing to lend him or her wholehearted aid in the spirit of mutual harmony. This form of cooperation is at the basis of nearly every single force. Your understanding of this great group may definitely determine your life success. Psychic power. One of the thoughts of the psychic aspect of the mastermind is its quantity of power. In a better sense of the universe. Your minds ever come together without a being measured, invisible, intangible force. The energy of each mind which constitutes the psychic phase of the mastermind. The mastermind principle, or rather the called mind, discovery of this principle is responsible for choosing power he accumulated through this mastermind alliance. If you analyze the record of anyone who has accumulated a great fortune, and many of those who have accumulated modest fortunes, you will find that they have either consciously or unconsciously employed a mastermind principle. Power can be accumulated through a couple of other principles. How to multiply your brain power. The human brain may be compared to an electric battery. It is a fact that a group of batteries will provide more energy than a single battery. It is also a fact that the amount of energy provided by each individual battery depends upon the number and capacity of the cells it contains. The brain functions in a similar fashion. Some brains are more efficient than others. A group of brains will provide more energy than a single brain, just as a group of electric batteries will provide more energy than a single battery. Through this metaphor, you can see that the mastermind principle holds the secret of the power wielded by those who surround themselves with others with brain power. The following will further define the so-called psychic phase of the mastermind principle. When a group of individual minds are coordinated and function in harmony, the increased energy created through that alliance becomes available to every individual mind. Every man began his business career under the handicap of poverty, illiteracy, and ignorance. Within the inconceivably short period of 10 years, Mr. Ford mastered these three handicaps. Out in 25 years, he made himself one of the richest men in America. How did he do it? Here is an important clue. Mr. Ford's rapid fortune became noticeable from the time he became a personal friend of the famed inventor, Thomas A. Edison. In the story of Ford's success, this is just the first indication of what the influence of one mind upon another can come. Follow his story further, and you will have even more evidence that power may be produced through friendly alliance of minds. It is a fact that Mr. Ford's most outstanding achievement is even more pronounced later, after he formed the acquaintances of Harvey Firestone, John Burroughs, and Luther Burbank, each a man of great mental capacity. He will take on the nature and the habits and the power of thought of those with whom the association is spirit of sympathy and harmony. Through his association with Edison, Burbank, Burroughs, and Firestone, Mr. Ford added to his own brain power the intelligence, experience, knowledge, and spiritual forces of these four men. Henry Ford used the mastermind principle exactly the way it is described in this book. This principle is available to you. I have already mentioned Mahatma Gandhi. Let me review the method by which he attained his tremendous power, and he explained in a few words. He gained by power through inducing over 200 million people to work with mind and body in a spirit of harmony for a definite purpose. In brief, Gandhi accomplished a miracle, for it is a miracle with 200 million people to be induced, not forced, to cooperate in a spirit of harmony. If you doubt that this is a miracle, try to get even 2 people to cooperate in a spirit of harmony for any length of time. Every person who manages a business knows how difficult it is to get employees to work together in a spirit even the most successful harmony. Editor's comments. The first step in putting together your mastermind alliance is to really know your desire. Desire will tell you what you need. It could be a small group, just 2 or 3 people, as was the case with Stephen Jobs as he was the they formed Apple, Bill Gates and Paul Allen in Microsoft, or Steve or it could be a large group, such as the mastermind alliance of 30 regional directors of Century 21 Real Estate, whose founder Arthur Bartlett firmly believes was essential to the company's success. Napoleon Hill suggests that in most cases, it should get 10 people or less, and generally the smaller the better. Choosing the people means finding those who not only share your vision, but who will also share their ideas, information, and content with you. They will let you use the full strength of their experience, training, and knowledge as if it were your own, and they will do it in the spirit of perfect harmony. The question that immediately comes to every reader's mind is, where do I find people who will help me to that degree? Napoleon Hill cannot answer that question for you, but he does tell you what to look for. Where you look is a people. And if you really do have a desire to succeed, you will start working and you won't give up until you find the right people. Napoleon Hill's description of the mastermind that appears below is argued with additional material from articles and speeches he wrote after the publication of Think and Grow Rich. These were compiled for publication by Hill's friend, mentor, and business associate, W. Clement Stratton, and appear in 2 books, Napoleon Hill's Keys to Success and Believe and Achieve. This leads to the other comments. Finding a mastermind matters. Ally yourself with a group of as many people as you may need in order to assemble a mastermind that will assist you in creating and carrying out your plan for the accumulation of money. The plan for this instruction is absolutely essential. Choose to associate with people who share common values, goals, and interests, and who each have a strong desire to contribute to the overall effort. Trial and error will be part of the process, but there are 2 qualities to be foremost in your mind. The first is ability to do the job. Do not select people for your life merely because you know them and like them. Such people are valuable to you because they improve the quality of your life, but they are not necessarily suited to a mastermind alliance. Your best friend may not be the most knowledgeable marketing professional, but perhaps he or she can introduce you to someone who is. The second quality is the ability to work in a spirit of harmony with others. There must be a complete mutual function without any reservations. Personal ambition must be supported in the achievement of the purpose of the alliance, which is your own. You must also insist upon confidentiality. Some people can give away an idea simply because they love to talk. You don't need to do it. Attune yourself to every member of the group. Try to imagine how you would react in a given situation. You in his or her shoes. Pay attention to body language. Sometimes facial expressions and movements say far more about what a person feels than the words that come out of his or her mouth. Be sensitive to what is not being said. Sometimes what is left out is far more important than what is put. Don't try to force the group is of untold importance. If you are you may have someone spouse. Set aside time to talk about what you want, how you want to rely on your best friends, build on persuasive abilities, become a partner for benefits. It is very unlikely that your work will not make your husband or wife something you do well, and you absolutely must not drag your partner something you want. You will not find a life. You will not focus on something will unfold. So inspired by it. He bought a copy of one of his employees. This amounted to thousands of copies. Stone was introduced. He told them about all the copies he had purchased of the program and said that he firmly believed that a transforming the sales force from modest to extraordinary success. Morgan left everything on his own, found the such pelará.
Yo te puedo. Y el otro momento, obvio que te lo van a volver a chingar bien feo. ¿Ya está? ¿Ya? Ahora voy a meter con el
Dale, me gusta su pita, cariñito.
Arroz, ¿te sirvo el arroz y encima la carne?
Ya.
Un lado.
No.
A tu marita.
Gordo, gordo. ¿Qué también se va a acabar eso? ¿Qué también se va a acabar eso? Las lleva a estar nublado todos los días. Todo ya va a estar nublado. Todo ya va a estar nublado. Va a parar de llover y luego vuelve a llover. Luego para y luego como a las 3 de la mañana, 2, va a estar las últimas lluvias.
designed and implemented a new training program for the sales force, which was so successful, he astounded the business world by helping Stone grow his company from $30 million in assets to $100 million in less than 10 years. When W. Clement Stone passed away in 2002, his company, now known as Aon Corporation, had revenues of $2 billion a year. W. Clement Stone had personally given more than $275 million to various charitable and philanthropic organizations. There has perhaps never been a greater example of coordination of knowledge and effort in a spirit of harmony between two or more people for the attainment of a definite purpose. The sheer volume of work and scope of influence achieved in a 10-year period by Napoleon Hill and W. Clement Stone leaves little question as to the power and importance of a mastermind alliance. This is the end of David's comments. The power of positive emotions. Money is shy and elusive. It must be wooed and won by methods not unlike those used by a determined lover. And the power you use in the wooing of money is not greatly different from what you use to attract the one you love. It is the power of positive emotion. That power, when successfully used in the pursuit of money, must be mixed with faith. It must be mixed with desire. It must be mixed with persistence. It must be applied through a plan, and that plan must be set into action. When money comes in large quantities, it flows to the one who accumulates it as easily as water flows downhill. There exists a great unseen stream of power, which may be compared to a river that flows in two directions. One side flows in one direction, carrying all who get into that side of the stream onward and upward to wealth. The other side flows in the opposite direction, carrying all who are unfortunate enough to get into it and can't pull themselves out, downward to misery and poverty. Everyone who has accumulated a great fortune has recognized the existence of this stream of life. Positive emotions form the side of the stream that carries you to fortune. Negative emotions form the side that carries you down to poverty. This is a point of great importance to the person who is following this book for the object of accumulating a fortune. You are caught in the side of the stream of power that leads to poverty. This book will serve as an oar by which you may propel yourself over into the other side of the stream. But it can serve you only through application and use. Merely reading and passing judgment on it, either one way or another, will be of no benefit to you. Poverty and riches can change places. But when riches take the place of poverty, the change only happens through well-conceived and carefully executed plans. The same is not true of poverty. Poverty needs no plan. It needs no one to help it because it is bold and ruthless. Riches are shy and timid. They have to be attractive. More gold has been mined from the thoughts of men than has ever been taken from the earth. Chapter 12. Sexuality, charisma, and creativity. The 10th step toward riches. Editor's comments. What motivates human beings is the subject of continuing scientific research and philosophical debate. There is general agreement that the prime motivators are the basic human needs for food and water, shelter and clothing, and safety. Beyond these basic life-sustaining needs, however, there are other factors that motivate people to action. It is the definition of the other factors and their order of importance that continues to be open to interpretation. Perhaps the most widely known theory is psychologist Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of human needs and forces, starting with the aesthetics, self-actualization, and transcendence. Other psychologists and sociologists have defined and arranged the categories differently, but in almost all cases there is agreement that after the primary life-sustaining needs of human beings are the next most important motivating forces. Napoleon Hill also compiled a hierarchy of what he referred to as mind stimuli. Like Maslow and other researchers, Hill identified sex and love as the most powerful non-life-sustaining factors in human motivation, but his focus was not on sex and love as they pertain to motivation. Hill believed that if sex and love are such powerful forces of life, there must be a correlation of outstanding achievement or material success, and such relationship exists in the motivating force of human motivation. Terms such as sex function and sex energy, analysis of motivating forces, and they relate to attitude and conduct. salespeople. Master salespeople attain mastery in selling because they either consciously or unconsciously transmute charisma, sexual energy, or sales enthusiasm. That statement explains the practical meaning of sexual transmutation. The meaning of the word transmute is, in simple language, the changing or transferring of one element or form of energy into another. The transmutation of sexual energy means switching the mind from thoughts of physical expression to thoughts of some other nature. Salespeople who know how to turn on charisma have acquired the art
Fuck are you listening to?
whether they know it or not. The majority of salespeople who transmute their sexual energy do so without being aware of what they are doing or how they are doing it. You can cultivate and develop this quality in your dealings with others. Through cultivation and understanding, this vital motivating force may be drawn upon and used to great advantage in relationships between people. This energy may be communicated to others in the following ways. The handshake.
Was
The touch
a
of the hand
bitcher.
indicates instantly the presence of charisma.
Yeah, I'm done.
The tone of voice. Charisma, or sexual energy, is the factor with which the voice may be colored or made musical and charming. Posture and carriage of the body. People with charisma move briskly and with grace and ease. The vibrations of thought. People with charisma project sexuality through their personality in a way that influences those around them. Clothing and style. People who are charismatic are usually very careful about their personal appearance. They usually select clothing of a style becoming to their personality, physique, complexion, etc. Editor's comments. Having established a link between sexuality and success in the form of charisma, in the following section, Napoleon Hill explores how sexuality might also be a motivating factor in success by enhancing creativity. To illustrate the connection, Hill draws upon the biographies of historical figures who exhibited both charisma and exceptional creativity. In the time since Hill conducted his research, many women have risen to positions of power and influence. Their accomplishments have been well documented and are readily available in bookstores and libraries. However, when Hill was assembling his data, the majority of historical biographies available were about successful men. Further, the successful industrialists and political leaders he had personally studied during the previous 30 years were also men. Because of this limitation, Hill does not theorize about the role men might play in motivating the success of women. This issue is addressed in a later editorial comment. This is the end of the editor's comments. Creativity. It seemed quite significant to me when I made the discovery that practically every great leader I had the privilege of analyzing was a man whose achievements were largely inspired by a woman. In most instances, the woman was a wife, of whom the public had heard little or nothing. In a few of the cases I studied, the source of inspiration was the other woman. The pages of history are filled with the records of great men whose achievements may be traced directly to the influence of women, who aroused the creative faculties of their minds. Napoleon Bonaparte was one of these. When inspired by his first wife, Josephine, he was irresistible and invincible. When his better judgment to put Josephine aside, his defeat and exile to St. Helena were not far distant. Abraham Lincoln was a notable example of a great leader who achieved his greatness through the discovery and use of his faculty of creative imagination. It is noted in practically every book written about Lincoln that he discovered and began to use this faculty as the result of the love that he experienced when he met Anne Rutledge. This is more than an interesting historical fact, but it is of significance in connection with the role sexuality plays in the study of the source of peace. Following is a list of famous men of outstanding achievement. George Washington, Napoleon Bonaparte, William Shakespeare, Abraham Lincoln, Ralph Waldo Emerson, Robert Burns, Thomas Jefferson, Elbert Hubbard, Elbert H. Gary, Woodrow Wilson, John H. Patterson, Andrew Jackson, Enrico Caruso. Wherever there was evidence available in connection with the lives of these men of achievement, it indicated most conclusively that each possessed a highly developed sexual nature. An analysis of the information taken from biographies and historical writings leads to the following conclusions. Those of greatest achievement have a highly developed sexual nature, but have learned the art of transmutation of sexual energy. Those who have accumulated great fortunes and achieved outstanding recognition in literature, art, industry, architecture, and the professions were motivated by the influence of a mate or lover. When driven by these emotions, people become gifted with a superpower for magic. To understand this, you will also understand that sexual transmutation contains the secret of creative ability. Editor's comments. As the previous, although Hill's analysis focused on men, today there is a wide range of biographies about women who have succeeded in every aspect of life, including business, politics, religion, sports, entertainment, and the arts. Bearing in mind that biographical information is always subjective, the reader can now find ample material from which to draw conclusions as to whether Hill's theory about sexuality as a motivating force is equally evident to women. Napoleon Hill had to do an in-depth analysis of biographies and searching for indications that the subject's sexuality had a correlation to their success. Today, we just turn on the television and inundated with intimate details about both men and women suggesting that the best and the brightest are apparently also the sexiest. Although scandals aren't usually cited as scientific proof, the exposés of some of the biggest entertainment and sports stars, high-profile CEOs of major companies, numerous politicians, and even a few presidents, all make at least a common-sense case for Hill's theory about the correlation between sexuality and success. This is the end of the editor's comments. Obviously, this does not mean that everyone who is highly sexed is a genius. People attain the status of genius only when and if they stimulate their minds so that they can draw upon the forces available through the creative faculty of the imagination. Although it is the most important of the stimuli or motivators, the mere possession of sexual energy is not sufficient to produce a genius. The energy must be transmuted from desire for physical contact into some other form of desire and action before it will at once the status of genius. Genius and creative imagination. A definition of genius might be someone who has discovered how to increase the intensity of thought to the point where that person can freely communicate with sources of knowledge not available to people in their brain alone. This definition should prompt questions in the mind of anyone reading this book. The first question should be, how may one communicate with sources of prove to yourself that this is true. By doing so, you will have the answer to both questions. Editor's comment. Humans perceive things through the 5 senses of sight, smell, taste, hearing, and touch. Another kind of perception, as when you have a feeling about something, was discussed in the chapters on desire, faith, and autosuggestion. This kind of perception is often referred to as the sixth sense, and in the following, Hill explores the relationship between sexuality, motivation, creative imagination, and the sixth sense. This is the end of the editor's comment. The reality of a sixth sense has been fairly well established. This sixth sense is creative imagination. The faculty of creative imagination is something the majority of people never use in their entire lifetime. And if they do use it, it usually happens by mere accident. Only a small number of people deliberately use their creative imagination for a specific purpose. Those who do use this faculty voluntarily and with understanding of its functions are geniuses. Creative imagination is the direct link between your finite mind and what I term infinite intelligence. All revelations and all discoveries of basic or new principles in the field of invention take place through the faculty of creative imagination. When ideas, concepts, or hunches flash in your mind, they can only have come from one or more of the following sources. 1. From the mind of some other person who has just released the thought, idea, or concept through conscious thought. 2. Your subconscious mind, which stores every thought and impression that ever reached your brain through any of the 5 senses. 3. From another person's subconscious storehouse. 4. Infinite intelligence. There are no other possible sources from which inspired ideas or hunches may be received. When brain action has been stimulated through one or more of the 10 mind stimulants listed at the beginning of this chapter, it has the effect of lifting you far above the horizon of ordinary thought. It permits you to envision distance, scope, and quality of thoughts not available on the lower plane, such as when you are solving routine problems of business. When you are lifted to a higher level of thought through mind stimulation, it is as though you are taken off in an airplane. You can now see over and beyond the horizon that limits your vision when you are on the ground. Not only that, but while you are on this higher level of thought, you are not even aware of such things as the problems of gaining the 3 basic necessities of food, clothing, and shelter. You are in a world of thought, in which the ordinary workaday thoughts have been removed, just as the hills and valleys that obstruct your vision on the ground don't interfere when you are in an airplane. While on this exalted plane of thought, the creative faculty of the mind is given freedom for action. The way has been cleared for the sixth sense to function. It becomes receptive to ideas that could not reach the individual under any other circumstances. The sixth sense is the faculty that marks the difference between a genius and an ordinary individual. Developing your creative imagination. A mind state is any influence that will either temporarily or permanently increase the intensity of thought. The previously mentioned 10 major stimulants are those most commonly resorted to. The resources you need with infinite intelligence and the storehouse of your subconscious mind, or perhaps the that of another person. That is all the choose. The more you use your creative faculty, the more alert and receptive it becomes to factors outside your conscious mind. And the more this creative faculty is used, the more you will rely upon it for the thoughts of the past. This faculty can be cultivated and developed only through use. What we generally refer to as our conscience operates entirely on the faculty of sixth sense. The great artists, writers, musicians, and poets become because they acquire the habit of dividing thought into small voices and speech through their creative imagination. Anyone with a keen imagination knows that some of their best ideas come through so-called hunches. One of the best-known public speakers admits that his speeches are only really great when he closes his eyes and begins to rely entirely upon the faculty of creative imagination. When asked why he closed his eyes just before the climax of his speech, he replied, "I do it because then I speak through ideas that come to me from within." One of America's most successful and best-known financiers has the habit of closing his eyes for 2 or 3 minutes before making a decision. When asked why, he replied, "With my eyes closed, I am able to draw upon a source of superior intelligence." Dr. Elmer R. Hughes created more than 200 patents to the process of cultivating and using his creative faculty. His method is significant to anyone interested in understanding the status of genius. Dr. James was one of the really great but less publicized scientists. In his laboratory, he had what he called his personal communication room. It was practically soundproof, and all light could be shut out. It had a small table on which he kept a pad of writing paper. In front of the table, on the wall, was a light switch. When Dr. Gates desired to draw upon the forces available to him through his creative imagination, he would go into this room, seat himself at the table, shut off the lights, and concentrate on the core factors of the invention he was working on. He would stay in that position until ideas began to flash into his mind in connection with the unknown factors of the invention. On one occasion, ideas came through so fast that he was forced to run for almost 3 hours. When the thoughts stopped flowing, he examined his notes and found they contained a description of principles that had no parallel in the known data of the scientific world. Moreover, the answer to his problem was right there in those notes. Dr. Gates earned his living by searching for ideas. He did it for individuals and corporations, and some of the most sensible people and largest traditional corporations in America paid him to do it. The part of your mind that you generally use for reasoning may be full, because it is largely guided by your human life experience. Not all knowledge that you learn through experience is accurate. Many times, your creative ideas are much more reliable, because they come from sources that are more reliable than those available to the reasoning faculty of the mind. Methods used by geniuses are available to you. The major difference between the genius and the ordinary is that the genius makes use of both the synthesized and the creative faculties of imagination. For example, the scientific inventor begins an invention by organizing and combining the known ideas or principles accumulated through experience, the synthesized faculty, the reasoning faculty. If the inventor finds this accumulated knowledge is insufficient, the scientist then draws upon the sources of knowledge available, the creative faculty. The method by which the inventor does this varies for the individual, but this is the essence of the procedure. 1. The inventor stimulated his or her mind so that his study of dysfunction of the mind is exceptional company. The fathers of modern psychology, Sigmund Freud and Carl Jung, recognized and prized this claim in the sixth sense. Jung's concept of the collective unconscious, which is the very basis of Jungian psychology, is in many ways identical to Jung's concept of infinite intelligence. Scientists from Archimedes to Einstein to in terms of the structure of DNA, all conceded that intuition was instrumental in their discovery. The university created a department for the sole purpose of studying these phenomena under scientific conditions. Scientists went into using personalized techniques similar to Bill's method for accessing intuition and creativity. These include the Friedrich discovered events through a dream cycle. This knowledge is modeled to had a much qualified for example, the Nobel Prize in Medicine, and is mentioned about the structure of DNA. Mozart, Schiller, Just the same way. One of these guys that leaves a deeper imprint on the heart an emotion of many shades and colors, but the most intense and burning of all is that experience of the blending of the emotions of love and sex. Marriages or committed relationships that are not blessed with love, success, cannot be happy and seldom endure. Love alone will not bring happiness, or will sex alone. Love is spiritual. Sex is biological. No experience that touches the human mind with spiritual force can possibly survive, except particularly for jealousy. The presence of destructive emotions in the human mind may poison it in a way that destroys your sense of justice and fairness. Just as we cannot contain certain chemical elements, none of which are harmful in themselves, by mixing them together creative way. In a similar manner, the emotions of sadness, jealousy, revenge, hatred, just as weak. Love is an emotion that serves as a safety valve and brings balance, reason, and constructive effort. Love is, without question, life's greatest experience. It can bring you into communion with infinite intelligence. When love guides the emotions, it may lead you well on your way toward creative effort. Genius consists of the development, control, and use of sex, love, and romance. Briefly, the process may be stated as follows. Encourage the presence of the positive emotions as the dominating thoughts in your mind. Control the destructive emotions. The mind is a creature of habit. It thrives on the dominating thoughts fed to it. Through your willpower, you may discourage the presence of any emotion and encourage the presence of any other. Control of your mind through the power of your will is not difficult. Control comes from persistence and habit. The secret of control lies in understanding the process of transmutation. When any negative emotion presents itself in your mind, it can be transmuted into a positive or constructive emotion by the simple procedure of changing your thoughts. There is no other road to genius than through voluntary self-education. When the emotion of romance is added to love and sex, the expression between the finite mind and human intelligence are removed. Then, a genius has been born. Success requires no explanations. Permits no alibis. Chapter 13. The subconscious mind. The connecting link. The 11th step toward riches. The subconscious mind consists of a field of consciousness, in which every impulse of thought that reaches the conscious mind through any of the five senses is classified and recorded. The subconscious receives and files sense impressions or thoughts regardless of their nature. You can plant in your subconscious mind any plan, thought, or purpose that you desire to translate into its physical or monetary equivalent. Those desires that have been mixed with emotional feeling and faith in your ability are the ones that are strongest. Therefore, they are the first to which the subconscious responds. The subconscious mind works day and night, and in some way which is not the subconscious seems able to draw from the source of infinite intelligence for the power to transmute the desires into their physical equivalent. And in the most straightforward and practical way.
Oh yeah, fuck you, kid. No way you smacked me like that. Why you do that with the bar like that, though? Jesus. You don't have to do me like that, my boy. Damn, boy. This nigga, what's the name? Omar? God damn, oh, Missy. Oh my god. Oh, how did he blow that up? What did he just do?
By acting as though the goal is already yours.
Oh, what the fuck?
Acting link between the finite mind of man.
Is he still here? No. Hey, and this fucking dude, what are these rounds? I don't like the intermediary through which you going back to LinkedIn. Oh, it's
are modified and changed into their spiritual energy. May be transmitted to the source capable of answering prayer, infinite intelligence. How to energize your subconscious mind for creative effort. The possibilities of what you can do when you connect creative effort with the subconscious mind are stupendous. I never approach the discussion of the subconscious mind without a feeling of littleness and inferiority.
Oh my god, my aim is so bad, bro. Oh my god, what the fuck is going on?
What it can do for you. This will enable you to understand its
whoa, where is he? Whoa, what? There was somebody dead ass like in our spawn. There's no way. Oh.
You will also understand the importance of making your desires clear and putting them in work.
Well, how did I do that? Alright. Oh boy, I gotta mute.
Do not become discouraged if you cannot do this on your first step. Remember that the subconscious mind can be corrected only from habit. You have not yet had time to master faith. Be patient. Be persistent. Take your challenge. There are two aspects to Hill's theory of the subconscious mind. There are two aspects to Hill's theory of the subconscious mind. One is the concept of the subconscious as the storehouse of all information and thought that you have ever experienced. The second is the concept of the subconscious as the gateway to infinite intelligence. In this chapter, he focuses primarily on the subconscious as a storehouse. Expanding on the editorial comment about the subconscious mind that appears in the chapter on autosuggestion, proof that the subconscious is a storehouse of information is confirmed in the use of hypnotherapy by psychiatrists. Through hypnosis, psychiatrists are able to help patients open the door to their subconscious so that they can retrieve information about traumatic situations that have been somehow repressed by the conscious mind. Further proof is the use of hypnosis by law enforcement agencies to capture information such as license plate numbers and other details that the subconscious has access to information that the conscious mind does not. This storehouse aspect of the subconscious is what accounts for some ideas that come to us through creative imagination. In some instances, bits of information and ideas that our conscious mind has forgotten will connect with each other on a subconscious level to create a new idea. And that idea will be received by our creative intelligence, which presents it to us as a flash of inspiration. You can't completely control this process, but you can condition yourself to come up with more and better ideas. It is a fact that a traumatic experience, the result of which creates a strongly planted idea, can influence the way a person thinks and acts. If that is true, then by intentionally using all of your efforts to powerfully plant an idea in your subconscious, you should be able to create what would amount to a good traumatic experience that will influence the way you think and act in a positive way. This is exactly how you develop what Hill calls a money consciousness. If you do everything within your power to strongly, firmly, and with complete faith and conviction plant the idea that you will be successful and achieve your desire, your subconscious will accept and store that idea. If you have planted the idea so strongly that it is the dominant idea in your subconscious, it will influence all of the other ideas and information stored there. When you have given your subconscious this specific direction that it did not have before, it will begin to put together pieces of information. And through your creative intelligence, you will find that you are coming up with more and better plans and ideas to accomplish your goal. But as Hill says, you can do this only through faith and habit. You must write out the affirmation of your goal, and you must repeat it aloud every day with absolute faith and conviction that you can achieve it. You must typically and creatively visualize yourself achieving your goal every day. You must conduct yourself with the attitude that says you can accomplish your goal, and that you deserve the help of those who can help you to accomplish your goal. And you must conduct yourself in that way every day. If you seriously commit yourself to doing these things, it will change the way you think and act. Your subconscious will do everything it can to transmute your desire into reality, and other people will want to do what they can to help you succeed. This is the end of the editor's comments. Many statements in the chapters on faith and on autosuggestion are repeated here for the benefit of your subconscious mind. Remember, your subconscious mind functions whether you make any effort to influence it or not. This means that thoughts of fear, poverty, and all negative ideas will affect your subconscious mind unless you master these impulses and give it more desirable food on which it may feed. The subconscious mind will not remain idle. If you don't plant desires in your subconscious mind, it will feed on the thoughts that reach it as the result of your neglect. Both negative and positive thoughts are reaching your subconscious mind continuously. These thoughts come from the four sources. 1. Consciously from other people. 2. Your subconscious. 3. Subconsciously from other people. And 4. Infinite intelligence. Every day, all kinds of thought impulses are reaching your subconscious mind without your knowledge. Some of these impulses are negative. Some are positive. Right now, you should be specifically trying to shut off the flow of negative impulses and actively working to influence your subconscious mind through positive impulses of desire. When you achieve this, you will possess the key that unlocks the door to your subconscious mind. Moreover, you will control that door so completely